Hi friends, Persephone here, and today I want to talk to you about how becoming the version of you, the very best version of you, that is living the life of your dreams, why that becoming can feel so uncomfortable. Let's dive in. Okay, so you know what you want. In order to create that experience in your physical world, we don't need to be moving everything outside of us. We need to become the version of us that already has it. We need to feel the feeling, practice feeling the feeling of that version of us that is already living it. So, in other words, if you already had all the things you say you desire, how would she make decisions? How would she think, feel, act? Who would she be talking to? How would she be talking? What sorts of people would she hang around with? We know this. You may have heard this before. If not, there you go. Now you do know. This is the journey that we have to go on. And while that's well and good, why does it feel so hard to do that? Because it is unnatural. And this is why so many people give up on this journey. Because on the journey to becoming that version of themselves that is successful, that is abundant, that is loved, that is whatever it is, fill in the blank. It feels like you're pretending to be someone else, like you're faking it till you make it kind of thing. And whilst it very much feels like that, it couldn't be further from the truth. The irony is, it feels like you're pretending when actually you are having to learn to be yourself. You've been conditioned into feeling and thinking that this version of you that potentially is in lack, that feels unconfident, maybe feels unworthy, that has these fears, is actually who you are. That's who you are. This is your personality. This is who you are. This is what you believe. And so when you step out to change that, it's going to feel like you're pretending to be someone else. But actually, you are learning or relearning to be yourself, the actual true version of you. This is why I call it coming home. Because this is not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to the truest version of yourself. And all of these beliefs and fears that only exist here on this physical plane are stripped away. And the most overarching fear that everybody has, whether it's fear of visibility, fear of failure, fear of abandonment, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of success, fear of, I've said all of them, like a lot of them. The overarching fear, the umbrella above all of those, is fear of the unknown. Because you haven't been this person for many, many years, if at all. And so you don't know what to expect. Well, what would I actually look like, feel like, think like, act like if I was successful? If I did feel free, what does that even look like? And that scares people. And so when you're beginning to move as that person, it feels like you're pretending and it feels uncomfortable. And your brain, your mind wants to return to what is familiar, aka the limited version of you that kept you exactly where you were, that keeps you exactly as you are. And let me tell you also, this isn't the last time this is going to happen. Because when you shift your identity and you change your experience, you're going to be doing it all over again, because there's going to be a new level you want to expand to, you want to grow to. No, not because you're greedy, because that's what we're here for, to create, to expand, to grow. But like the caterpillar, where it is a hot mess inside that cocoon before that caterpillar spreads its wings and turns into a butterfly, you are going to feel the rub, my friends. You are going to feel the dis-ease and the disharmony before the resolution. Because you have taught your mind and your body, your nervous system, to feel safe, feeling this, thinking this, doing this, and all the habits, physical habits that go with that. You're now asking your body and your mind to do something different than the norm, than the familiar. Stepping outside of your comfort zone, stepping into the unknown. And your body and your mind won't want that. because it doesn't feel safe, and it is wanting to survive, and it thinks going into the unknown means danger, danger. But you're saying, I want to go there. Then please do not expect it to be all smooth sailing. Trust me, the journey is incredible. It is the most unbelievable experience, and I would never want to go back to sleep again. But please remember, this journey is not meant to be comfortable. It is meant to grow you. And growing isn't always comfortable. So it is going to feel unnatural. Don't think that that means that something's wrong or you're doing something wrong. It means you are building a new habit. You're building new programs. You are rewriting the program. And what happens is the more that you do that, and unfortunately this is where people get stuck and give up, but what they don't realize is the more consistently they do it and practice and use the tools to do that, like gratitude, visualization, powerful questions, perspective. There are a lot of tools that we use on this journey. The more you do it, the more natural it will feel. The old self, the limited way of thinking, the old conditioning, it doesn't die. It's that your attention isn't on it. And so it diminishes. It becomes irrelevant, void, because your attention is over here every single day, consistently, to the point where that becomes your new default. That is your new state. So my friends, the reason it feels uncomfortable when you are becoming the truth of who you are in its fullest, most powerful expression is because you are not used to feeling that. So this is why we use the tools, to get you used to feeling those feelings, to get you used to placing your attention not on this very tempting voice that says, come back over here, you need to keep eating or procrastinating or scrolling or feeling unworthy or hiding from the world. Right? You will no longer be tempted by that. So it will feel uncomfortable because it is tempting, because it's easier. This is why more people are not awake, because it's actually easier to stay asleep. But it is nowhere near as fulfilling, as exciting, as powerful, as transformative. And it is the most fulfilling way to change your experience. So I don't teach the science of success on its own. I teach the science of success with the art of fulfillment. Because if you just become successful, whatever that means to you, that doesn't necessarily mean fulfillment. There are plenty of wealthy people that are miserable. There are plenty of poor people that are happy, and vice versa. They're not mutually exclusive. So, we don't just want to be successful, we want to feel fulfilled. And I said feel. Right? So we need to practice becoming this person each and every day, knowing that when it feels uncomfortable, that means it's working. And actually, the louder that old voice gets, the further away from it you are moving. I know that sounds contradictory, but the further away from it you're moving, because when something is dying, it's clawing on for dear life. It's going to make many ditch final attempts to bring you back. And so often it's when that voice is loudest that you know you're on the cusp of making that new, beautiful, fulfilled, free, loved, abundant self your norm, your default, your new set point. So my friends, I hope this has helped you in understanding why it feels uncomfortable and also why more people aren't doing it. Because it takes someone like you, someone who is driven, someone who is committed, someone who knows they are made for more and will not stop, to actually continue on this journey, regardless of how uncomfortable it feels. So my friends, share in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share this with someone that needs to hear this today. I'm sending you all my love. And remember, you are limitless.